Hi, my name is Kyle Barton. This is for Beth Walliser's Literacy Methods course. The mini teach, this will be Gallery Walk, Tompkins Strategy number 9, the Gallery Walk, where students will draw artistic headline and go around the class and view others' work. In this case, I only have 2 students, so they will simply hand their headlines to other people. All right, that'll be pretty simple. My 2 students are Dave Felpel.
Yay! The crowd goes
And
wild.
Heather Felpel. Her children are also in the room, so if you hear some ambient noises that sound like small children, that is what that is. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, because the point of this lesson is to understand what the main idea of an article is and how to write a headline for that article. So we want to be able to analyze an article. So let's define what analyze means. It's to examine methodically and in detail the constitution or structure, typically for purposes of explanation and interpretation. In layman's terms, it's explain what's inside the article. All right, and so let's define an article. An article is a piece of writing included with others in a newspaper, magazine, or other publications. It's simply something within a magazine, an article within a magazine. So the main idea. The definition of a main idea would be the most important or central thought of a paragraph or larger section of text which tells the reader what the text is about. This will be on the test. Do not forget these. There'll be no assessment today. And the headline is simply heading at the top of an article or page in a newspaper or magazine. Okay, so today the students will read an article and then they will place I will hand out 6x8 cue cards, or note cards, 5x8 5x8, 3x5. Sorry, 3x5 note cards, and they will write what they believe the main idea of their article is on the front and on the back in an artistic way. They can add images if they want. They will come up with a catchy headline. Okay, I've already done that. I'll read my article once again. So just sit back and enjoy the monotonous sound of my voice. Chinese authorities have begun using a new surveillance tool, gait recognition software, that uses people's body shapes and how they walk to identify them. Please, Belle, in the back of the room, be quiet. Even when their faces are hidden from cameras. Already used by police in the streets of Beijing and Shanghai, gait recognition is part of a push across China to develop an artificial intelligence and data-driven surveillance that is raising concern about how far the technology will go. Huang Yongzhen, the CEO of Waitrix, said that its system can identify people from up to 165 feet away, even with their back turned or face covered. This can fill a gap in facial recognition, which needs close-up, high-resolution images of a person's face to work. Waitrix announced last month that it had raised 100 million yuan, $14.5 million, to accelerate the development of and sale of its gait recognition technology, according to Chinese media reports. Chinese police are using facial recognition to identify people in crowds and nab jaywalkers and are developing an integrated national system of surveillance camera data. Not everyone is comfortable with gait recognition's use. Shi Shusi, a Chinese columnist and commentator, says it's unsurprising that the technology is catching on in China faster than the rest of the world because of Beijing's emphasis on social control. Okay, so I'd say the main idea of that article, does anybody know it? No. All right. I'll give you what I believe. I'll give you what I believe the main idea is. I've written it down here. Waitrix, a software company, has developed software that can recognize the way a person walks to identify them. It's called gait recognition. Okay, that is what I would take away from that article, is the main idea of that article. All right, and on the back, I've written what I think a catchy headline for that would be: walk the walk and you're caught. Doesn't exactly rhyme, but sounds right to me, rolls off the tongue. Okay, so I have distributed the articles and the note cards already. They will go ahead and read their articles and write what they believe the main idea is, and then they will write down the main idea on their cue cards, note cards, 3x5 note cards, and in an artistic way write something on the back. All right? And so we will sit here quietly while they read. I will have some questions. Heather! Heather!
Come on! Sorry.
No, I can't. That's what happened last time. I tried to pause it and it stopped the recording. All right. So once again,
Belle
it's
had
fine.
diarrhea in her underwear.
Jeez, Heather, really? You had to have known that was not going to be a thing you should say on camera.
I thought you said you paused it.
Nope, I said specifically I didn't. Do headlines infer what is going to be in the article? As my students here about that great conversation we just had, sorry class, I do have family issues. Do headlines infer what is going to be in the article?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we agree on that.
Yes.
All right. Do newspapers spark debate?
Yes,
Do
absolutely.
newspapers spark debate?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, sir. And could you create a headline that perfectly embodies an article?
No.
No.
No, unlikely. Unlikely, but people do try to do that. Okay, go ahead and continue reading.
Why'd you cross it when it was hot?
Am I not supposed to?
It's fine.
What the fuck?
I think you got me locked up at 1,000.
Now, for the in-class assignment, I will have newspapers and magazines and other types of media in order to show kids what type of media articles come from. All right, so we have a better understanding. All right. Now, as you read your article, could you tell the person next to you what your article was about without having to reread it?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Now, if you knew the headline before you read the article, would you have guessed that was what was in the article
No.
based on the headline?
No.
Well, I don't know what the original headline was of my original.
It was on your article. You would have read it.
It's fine. It's fine. Would you choose these articles on your own?
No.
All right. No. We've already answered that. You would not have chose to read these articles on your own.
The only reason I would have is because my dad works at Smithfield. But
Okay.
other
So there
than
was
that-
something within the article that did interest you. All right. So let's see here. Have you finished reading your articles?
Yes.
Have you finished writing your main ideas?
Yes.
Have you come up with your headlines?
Yes.
No.
You seriously haven't come up with your headline?
A good one.
Well, have you come up with a headline?
Yes.
The assignment's almost over, Heather. To get full credit, I'm going to need a headline. You have one?
Yes.
Okay. What would you say your article was about, Dave?
My article was about they made it illegal for people to lay down or sit on curbs, sidewalks, anywhere pedestrians or people could drive, and you would get fined.
Really?
Yes, the city passed the ordinance. And you would get fined if you got caught doing this. Now, if it's a parade or something like that, it's it's a different story, or festival, and people if there's a medical issue, it's okay. If you're in a wheelchair or kids in strollers.
So there are extenuating circumstances.
Yes, those are exempt. But if you're just down there laying in the middle of the sidewalk, which I don't know why you'd be doing that, but I guess they have an issue there with that.
Your article was about in Colorado, wasn't it?
Yes, in Colorado, I guess. Well, I guess there's reasons why people could just be laying around downtown. But
Colorado, that's a different place. Okay, so what was, we have your main idea. What was your headline?
my headline was "Lounging Downtown, an Expensive Pastime."
Lounging downtown, an expensive pastime. That's good. That's creative. I enjoy it. All right.
Would
If
that
it's-
tell you, do you think you would get fully what my article was about from that?
no,
Yeah.
no, but I would make me want to read it. It would make me want to read it, which is what headlines are supposed to do. Pique our interest. Heather, what's your main idea?
Hurricane Florence creates a state of emergency in North Carolina that threatens corn, tobacco, and hog harvest.
Hurricane, well, yours sounds much more boring than Dave's. All right. So Hurricane Florence threatens the corn harvest and some pigs and tobacco.
Yeah.
That's a tragedy. What was your headline?
Well, a funny one would be say goodbye to your corn dogs and cigarettes.
Say goodbye to your corn dogs and cigarettes. That's catchy. That would catch me.
However,
Yeah.
hogs, corn, and tobacco threatened by Hurricane Florence.
Wait, go with the catchy one. You're trying to catch people's attention. You always go with the catchy one. All right, so
What you made up for it with color.
I like your original one. I like the first one. Say goodbye to your corn dogs and cigarettes. That would catch me. All right, so do you think your headlines clearly represent what your article means?
No.
No. But do you think your headlines would get people to possibly read what was in the article?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Do you think now that you understand how to possibly find a main idea within an article, you would practice finding main ideas on your own in
Oh,
articles?
definitely.
Like, definitely read an article and be like, that's the main idea of that article. Are you writing it artistically? Let me see. Oh, you're not done yet? All right. Now, knowing that people, knowing that most newspapers or magazines or even Twitter or Facebook or media companies try to catch your attention using simply headlines to grab you, will you judge articles by their headlines or what is in them?
No.
The answer is no. It's not a yes or no question. Will you judge them by their headline or what is in them?
I judge them by what's in them.
What is
not
written
the-
in them, not just the headline. Right, Heather?
Yes.
The headline just kind of makes you want to know if you might be interested in reading it or not.
Mm-hmm. You want to finish that so I can show the camera your beautiful artwork?
Yes.
So in a gallery walk, what we would do is all the students would do what you're doing right now, and then they would place them head up on, I'll take that cake, sir. They would place them head up. Yeah, it's snack time in the classroom. They would place them, hurry up,
I'm hurrying.
Princess Belle.
head up on their desks, and then we would line up at one end, and we'd walk down the aisles of the desks, and we would all look at each other's headlines to judge them, and not judge them, but to see other people's work. All right, so we've gone over how to identify a main idea within an article and found interesting headlines for them. Always remember to not just read the headline, it's what's in the article that counts. So based on some of our own headlines, we know that the headline does not always tell the whole story. It is used to draw you in and get a response. Without reading the full article, we will never understand what's actually in there. You turn that light back on, Belle. So here's an example of an artistic headline. It's fine, I'm almost done. And this was the Gallery Walks Tompkins Strategy number 9. Thank you very much. Have a good night.